Before we start the cowling, I'd like to point out that I've made up the hatch. It's just the 1.5 millimeter plywood, and I made some hooks on either side using some spruce and plywood, and these hook under the these spruce bits there, first in the back and then in the front, and this is perfect, won't go anywhere. Now, what am I going to do? Well, we're going to make a cowling, and it's going to be this 10 millimeter balsa block with some other balsa blocks underneath like this, and one here in between. We have the front of the cowling, which will come under this with a hole for the motor, and then there's the bottom of the cowling, which is here, which will glue down there, right? And this of course will glue to it. This then we will form on the fuselage before cutting it off. So any gluing that goes on, nothing will be glued to the firewall or the bottom. Now here we have the cowling glued to the front of the aeroplane. What we now have to do is the classic cut away anything that does not look like a cowling, and I'm going to do that off camera. Here is the cowling formed, mostly. It's looking very similar to what we have on the plan, except of course the motor is not standing up here, and the rest of the forming of it will have to go while it's after I've taken it off. Now, here are the lines I drew for the cutting, and I can use a saw like this, or just a knife and a ruler. Now, here is the cowling off, and now I need to be able to fasten it. Now, what I think I should do is put a strip of wood down here, then I can screw into the firewall. I think that would be easiest. Here we have the cowling on again, stuck, holding 4 screws, 2 on the left side and 2 on the right side, and a little overkill possibly, but well, what are a couple of screws anyway? Anyway, next thing, put the motor on and see how the cowling fits after that. Here's the motor on the airplane, a little box I made and glued to the front, and the cowling has now got a large hole in it, and I've cut things from the inside to make it fit along the box, and the motor stands out and turns quite freely. There we are.